will receive. Have a great day, gentlemen.
Western Kentucky Hilltoppers and the Rice Owls. Graham Toady, Bob Belvin with you today. And Bob, this game, a lot of storylines all the way around for this game. One thing that has impacted both of these teams throughout the course of this week leading up to this, it's the flu. Not as dramatic as what happened to Texas A&M last week, but it has impacted both of these teams coming into this matchup today.
You know, that continues to be a developing story as we head here this afternoon, and certainly both clubs are not going to play their hand and not explain how many they may be without it. We're actually counting as we look on each sideline and looking for some key players. We'll be bringing you that, again, a developing story.
And weather-wise, it is currently about 38, 39 degrees in Bowling Green, Kentucky. How much, if any, of an impact do you think that'll have today?
Well, always your first weather game of the season has an impact. It's how you prepared for it during the week. A lot of the players are out just going through their normal routine. I don't think coaches talk a lot about it, particularly a team from Houston. They're going to feel the impact of this much cooler weather early on.
You're looking at the impact players. There's one of them for Western Kentucky. It's Austin Reed. He is a huge part of the offense for the Hilltoppers.
Now, Austin Reed has just been spectacular as the season's gone along. Really filled the hole left by Bailey Zappi last season. Hasn't missed a beat, and he is going to be a key factor in this game this afternoon for Western Kentucky against a Rice defense that's really been struggling against accurate and multifaceted quarterbacks.
There's Tyson Helton, the head coach for the Hilltoppers. What a job he has done building this program in Bowling Green. He is 26-19. He's named the 21st head coach at Western Kentucky in November of 2018. Rice won the toss. They elected to kick off to Western Kentucky. Michael Matheson is back deep for the Hilltoppers. A lot on the line for this one. The winner of this game will go to a bowl game.
And if you're thinking, well, if you're Western, I've got 6 wins already. Key factor there is they're playing 13 games this season. They've got to get to 7.
Kick out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So we'll get a look at this Hilltopper offense, which has been lights out. This season they averaged 37 points a game. That is tops in Conference USA. They average almost 500 yards of offense, second most in Conference USA. Austin Reed, the quarterback. He will start 1st and 10 from his own 25. Reed, the Division II transfer from West Florida, second in the country in passing yards this season. He is tied for 3rd in passing touchdowns. He will throw on the first play of the game to Corley. Corley works his way up to the 30-yard line. Positive start on the drive for the Hilltoppers.
Well, it's exactly how they started many games so far this season. And one of the things we talked to Tyson Hilton about this week, he was very clear about, we want to have explosive plays on offense.
They'll keep it on the ground this time. A short pickup to make it 3rd and about 2 for Western Kentucky. That was Kai Robichaux, the sophomore out of Columbus, Georgia, with the handoff.
And Robichaux, Irvin Poindexter, you're going to see both of those, maybe a lot this afternoon from Western Kentucky, especially the way Rice defends them. We'll talk more about that later.
Hilltoppers bring in the 2 tight ends. It's a quarterback run for Reed. Following his blocks, he lunges forward. He's got the first down up to the 39.
You know, talking to the Rice side defensively, kind of contradicted what we just saw, Graham, and that was when Reed is going to run, it's somewhat impromptu. In that case, they're coming in with a double tight end set, and it was going to be a run by the quarterback from the outset.
Austin Reed has 1st and 10 from his own 39. That is Corley in motion. The flip to him. He's got some space. Corley with a first down run and more. He will be chased from behind, knocked out of bounds, finally inside the 30-yard line. That is a pickup of 32 yards.
So let's go back to 2 snaps ago what I said. Here's Corley, and they've been running this all season long, but that time they got the linebacker boxed into the middle, and Corley able to break one. That's those explosive plays we talked about just 2 snaps ago that Tyson Helton said this Western Kentucky team must have more of this afternoon.
Simon, the tight end, he is now on the field, the sophomore out of South Carolina. Reed looks to throw. He's going to take a shot in the end zone. It is it caught? It is. What a start. Jalen Hall in Western Kentucky. Hall reels it in. And on the opening drive of the day, the Hilltoppers put one in.
Only the 4th catch of the season for Hall. 2 touchdown catches to go, and again, back-to-back explosive plays. And you can talk about it a lot on Wednesday and Thursday during the week. When you're able to do it on Saturday afternoon, that's what matters, and Western with a great start here early.
5-play drive, 75 yards. It took 2 minutes and 2 seconds. The extra point is good. 3rd touchdown catch of the season for Jalen Hall. And that is touchdown pass number 29 for Austin Reed. What a start for the Hilltoppers. 4th time this season they have scored on the opening drive of the game. What a start, can't do it any better.
Yeah, the defender was just too deep, basically defending the back line of the end zone, and Hall just kind of stepped a little bit in front of him. Both defender and offensive player running out of room in the back, but Hall able to capture it in, and I don't think you could have drawn it up any better if you're Tyson Helton and Arbuckle in this offense to be able to go down the field in the manner they did and put it in the end zone here early.
Corey Munson will get ready to kick it deep. That is Connors back for the Rice Owls. Sophomore out of Hawaii. A fair catch is made around the goal line, and it'll be 1st and 10 for Rice coming up here from their own 25. So, Bob, what should we expect to see from this Rice offense this afternoon?
Well, it's very controlled, and by that I mean there's a pretty even mix of run and pass. TJ McMahon, who we're going to talk a lot about, number 7, the quarterback, as he comes back out. There's a lot of asking of him in this offense, but one of the things that the Rice coaching staff talked about this week is they just want him to be steady, especially early in the game. So we'll keep an eye and see if this Western defense, with a lot of different looks, can rattle McMahon.
He's known for 18 touchdowns this season. Here's a handoff to Cameron Montgomery, and Montgomery fights his way forward up to the 34-yard line. He's about a yard shy of the 1st down. Nice run for the senior out of Stafford, Texas.
Leading rusher for Rice, and that really helps you out early if you're McMahon to be able to get that run game going. Obviously 2nd and 1, a lot of things you can do right here. I don't see Rice being real exotic in these 2nd and 3rd and shorts.
McMahon, a junior out of Anaheim, California, started his career as a walk-on at Mississippi State. He will look to throw, checks it down to Montgomery. Montgomery will get tackled right away. This is going to depend on the spot.
Be no gain, actually, where they're spotting Montgomery right then. And well, I mentioned that not going to look at a lot of things exotic. I thought surely they would just try and pound and not create a 3rd and short situation. But Rice, overall offensively, under Marcus Tuiasosopo, the offensive coordinator, is going to be very straightforward. And you can see this jumbo package right here. They'll shift out of it a bit. They're just going to grind to get this 1st down.
3rd and less than a yard. Will it be a quarterback sneak? It'll be a handoff up the middle, and Rice with their first down of the afternoon.
Uriah West on the carry.
Now West is the pounder, and just with the 1st down carry right here, Uriah West, a graduate student, formerly at Jacksonville State, and he's their guy that they're going to bring in these types of situations. Again, just kind of blast, kind of grind through, get that 1st down, reset, move the markers, and we'll see what McMahon and this Rice offense can do now.
4th meeting all time between these two teams. Western Kentucky is 3-0 against Rice. Last time meeting as conference opponents Catch made by the tight end, Bradley, and Bradley gets knocked off his feet. Ball pops out, but he is down. He picks up 11 yards.
Bradley is the feature receiver in this offense, the big tight end. You're going to see here just going to rub off on the motion, and look at this collision. That's a great shot field level, and Bradley might have gotten the worst of that.
Bradshaw, the senior out of Dallas, Texas, with a hit. 1st and 10 for Rice. McMahon, he will hand it off to Montgomery. Montgomery not very big. He lunges forward towards midfield. He is listed at 5'5", 160.
Now still, again, I believe Rice will stay with a run play. Again, not a lot of exoticness out of Rice offensively. They just want to be able to pound it, be able to control the clock, and obviously that takes possessions away from this very explosive Western Kentucky offense.
Uriah West, the senior out of Douglasville, Georgia, is back in. It's a play action. Here's a throw over the middle and a catch made inside the 40. A pickup of 14 yards. What a catch by the senior, Isaiah Esdell.
Esdell got right in front of Bradshaw. This is a very good catch. Even better throw, really. It's a little bit high. Bradshaw, you can't fault the defense on that last play, but again, the pass play converted to a first down, and Rice now on the move, very methodical. Again, not going to be super fancy. They're going to do what they do and do it well.
That's Connors, the running back. Play action, McMahon being flushed out to the left. He throws across his body, back-to-back catches for Esdell. This one good for a pickup of 9.
Now the pressure come from the strong side, you can see, and that forced McMahon to shift to his left a little bit, and it's a really, really good catch in traffic.
9 on the play, 2nd down and 1.
Now 2nd and short again. Well, you like 9 yards on first down, right?
A lot of options. 2nd and short. Running back is Connors. This will be his first carry of the afternoon. He's got a first down and is tripped up at the 20.
Dean Connors out to carry.
Connors with a nice burst just off the right tackle. Gets the first down and keeps the chains moving. And I really like this drive by Rice. A good mixture of the pass and the throw, getting a lot of players involved.
This will be the 9th play of the drive. 4 runs, 4 passes. Can't be any more balanced than that.
It's right on cue with what Marcus Tuiasosopo talked with us about this week from that standpoint.
McMahon is going to go for the end zone, up for grabs, and it's incomplete. His first incompletion of the afternoon.
Davion Williams with great, he's talking it up as he comes down the sideline. You can see him in the shot. Great inside technique here by Williams, and that was a tough ball nonetheless to catch, but credit Williams, really strong defensively just to knock it out of bounds.
Trying to find Rosner. He had the big catch last week against UTEP in the win, the game-winning touchdown with 25 seconds left. 5 wide for TJ McMahon. He's got a clean pocket over the middle, and it's intercepted. Hilltoppers, another turnover. Nobody has had more turnovers than this Hilltopper defense this season.
Yeah, and that's another bad decision by McMahon. We'll talk about it later.
Hilltoppers up 7-0. They'll have it when we come back to Bowling Green. Hilltoppers leading Rice 7-0 after the interception. The sophomore out of Montgomery, Alabama, Kendrick Simpkins, with his first career pick. Reed will throw, and a catch made by Corley. Then he lost it.
Incomplete pass by
And it'll
Reed.
be incomplete.
Second down.
So going back to that interception.
So look at McMahon. He just overthrows the intended receiver to the point that it's not even in the screen then. Kendrick Simpkins right then. So that's a better look. And you can see it was Connors. Indeed, he was trying to throw to in the middle of the field. And that's been a problem with McMahon all season long. Graham, he's just throwing interceptions, and that's, you know, easily to say it, but that's a very bad time to throw one after a really successful drive to that point.
Hilltoppers with a screen.
Reed's pass complete
Crossing the
for
10-yard line. That
Jalen Hall.
is the second catch made of the day by Jalen Hall. His first resulting in a touchdown. Here's 3rd and 5 for the Hilltoppers.
Third down and 4.
Good start for Austin Reed. He's 4 of 5. 66 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah, we learned pregame that Sean Fresh, one of the defensive backs, key players for Rice, out today. And that's not gone unnoticed by this Western offense, kind of moving to that side of his replacement.
Reed over the middle. What a catch by Corley for a first down at the 25. That's good for a pickup of 14.
This is right on script of what Western wants to do. Just find Corley touches throughout. I think Corley's been on a long ball to the outside. He's running end around, and now this play.
There was a shot taken towards Michael Matheson, and just out of his reach at 2nd and 10.
As the old cliche goes, it's never a bad time to find Malachi Corley the football, and Western continues, even as the season progresses, to find ways to get him involved in the offense, and why not? He's been outstanding.
Couple substitutions. That's the tight end, Joshua Simon and Dalvin Smith, who check in. Hilltoppers wanted to take some shots down the field today against this Rice defense. Rice defense, by the way, that's been very good. They're 2nd in Conference USA. They give up 384 yards. Here's the first catch of the day for Smith, spinning, fighting, and finally dropped at the 45.
When we talked to the offensive staff of Western, one of the things they talked about was creeping the linebackers up and the secondary up the line of scrimmage. We'll talk more about that from Rice in just a moment.
Reed dumps it off to his running back, Robichaux. He's got a first down. Scampers out of bounds inside the 35. A gain of 21.
Now this play is all Austin Reed right here because he held the ball longer than he has at any point in time so far. Pocket collapsed around him. He was able to find Robichaux.
Tempo has been very effective so far for the Hilltoppers. This is their 2nd drive. Opening drive of the game, they scored 5 plays. That's Simon in motion. Play action for Reed. It's a long throw right through the hands of Daywood Davis. That's his first target at 2nd and 10.
Number 7, Davis incomplete.
Davis, another one of the talented receivers here at Western Kentucky, and I can assure you of this, they will continue to try to find ways to get him the football as well. He's got some big numbers coming in.
Yes, he does. Over 700 yards receiving, 6 touchdowns, one of their playmakers on the outside.
Here's one of the Rice defenders we're going to focus on this afternoon. I'm going to let Graham pronounce his name.
On 2nd and 10, it's a handoff. Up the middle, not much going, and a 3rd and long on the way for the Hilltoppers. Haven't had a lot of these today. This will only be the third down. And the Hilltoppers want to go fast. 5 wide. Reed is going to plant and throw one up for grabs. The only one there, it's a Rice Owl. All kinds of miscommunication, interception, and the Owls defense comes up with a huge play.
But it'd take about 3 wide shots of the field to explain what happened on this one. But it was a type of scramble drill offensively, if you will, by Western Kentucky. They had an overload to one side, sole receiver down the middle of the field. Reed throws an interception.
Rice defense coming up with a stop. We'll take a look at the Owl offense when we come back. After the turnover, Rice will hand it off to Montgomery as he picks up 4 yards on first down. Last time Rice had the football, McMahon threw an interception, but the Rice defense coming up with a huge stop. We'll show you that replay in a moment. That was a monster stop by the Owl defense.
Yeah, back-to-back possessions by both teams. Their quarterback leaders made really bad choices. That time Reed throwing deep down the middle and no receiver to be found, except Narcisse, who intercepts it.
Narcisse got the start today, too. Here's a quarterback run. McMahon, not a lot of room at all. He is greeted at the line of scrimmage.
Man on the keeper.
Yeah, I think if you're the offensive staff for Rice, you just put that play in the back pocket here because there's a lot of red jerseys on the edge, but also not a lot of blockers on that side of the formation for McMahon to run into, so could have created a third and medium.
That was Simpkins with a big hit. He had the interception earlier this quarter. Rice on third down, 1 for 1. The Owls have 3rd and 6. McMahon wants to throw to his tight end. He's got Bradley. Bradley trying to shed a defender. He's got the first down from the spot as he's up to the 29. What a play by the tight end, Jack Bradley, the junior out of Dallas.
We talked about it on the first drive. It's worth saying again, Bradley is their guy. He's obviously a big target for McMahon to throw to, and thought for a moment he did not have that first down, kind of circled back, tried to avoid the defender, but it was good enough to get him to the 29, and Owls bring a little sigh of relief here.
Second catch of the day for Bradley. Have yet to see Luke McCaffrey on the field for Rice. Pocket crumbles and McMahon goes down. Hilltoppers bring the blitz and it pays off. First sack for Western Kentucky.
Yeah, ordinarily on first down, Bradley, who just had that catch a down ago, going to stay in the block, but not. And then they bring pressure from the spot that the tight end vacated on the right side of the formation, and here it comes. Side and middle. McMahon did not have a chance there.
It's a loss of 7. A lot of shifts with this offense. It's now empty set, 5 wide for McMahon. McMahon is going to take off, try to find some space, and he takes a shot at the 25.
Now that's 2 shots actually he's taken in this possession alone, and obviously Rice is going to bring in the punt unit here. My belief, or check that, just third down. In this case, not a lot of receivers going down deep into the routes to kind of drag those defenders from the edge into the middle and away from the line of scrimmage, and McMahon took a shot there.
It's 3rd and 11. They converted earlier on this drive. Clean pocket for McMahon, over the middle. Catch made for a first down by Esdale, up to the 45. Picks up 16 on 3rd and 11.
I like Esdale so far here in the first quarter. This time, going to throw to the middle of the field, and there's some room there to be able to do that. And Esdale, a nice route, and that converts. That's a big conversion, especially after the sack and that Rice took on second down.
McMahon has started this game 6 for 8. He's thrown for 41 yards. Back on the ground, trying to cross midfield and being stopped shy of midfield. I believe that's West. That is somebody that Rice wanted to get heavily involved today.
Yeah, that's that pound game we talked about that West brings for Rice, and I think either team would be happy to get 5 on first down each time out, and that's exactly what Rice did in that case.
That was actually the first carry for Otiavano Jr. from Arlington, Texas. Picked up 5. It's 2nd and 5 for Rice. Keep it on the ground to him. He spins, sheds a defender. He's got a first down. Picks up 6 to move the sticks.
Yeah, I like that play because Western Kentucky was going to load the right side up. Same side they got that sack from earlier with the pressure, and you can just see they kind of ran away from that, did Rice. And it proved to be successful.
Rice, so far, they've been able to move the football as the first quarter winding down. It looks like the Owls do not want to get another snap off here. Well, the Hilltoppers scored on the opening drive of the game, and since then, both teams have thrown an interception. First quarter comes to a close, but Rice is moving the football. Hilltoppers leading it after 1, 7-0. First and 10 for Rice as we get ready to kick off the second quarter. Hilltoppers leading at 7-0. This has been a very solid drive. 9th play of the drive for Rice. Toviano in the backfield. There have been 5 different Rice players that have at least 1 carry. Toviano with another one as he rumbles inside the 40. Picks up 6 yards on first down.
I really like the Rice running game between the tackles. And again, just play the sheer averages, 6+ here on first down. I think the Rice staff would be very happy if they could just grind it out in that manner. You always got to be able to run the football, but I think in these conditions, and we haven't talked a whole lot about it, just the sheer coldness, wow, that you can do that.
It's 38 degrees on an overcast afternoon in Bowling Green. Here's Connors trying to turn the corner. Not a lot of room on the outside at all. He was first met by the linebacker, Derek Smith.
Again, back to my point. Stay between the tackles. I think Rice has got an advantage here. You just kind of wonder with the way the wind is blowing into their face a bit for Rice if this might be 4-down territory here.
They have already converted twice on this drive. Play number 10, or this is actually the 11th play of the drive. That's Campbell in motion. McMahon looks that way, he's got him, and he's caught it for the first down. First catch of the day for Campbell. And the drive extends for Rice.
Do not understand why Caleb Oliver defensively, watch him as it comes in your screen. He's just still waiting on the ball to deliver it and then answers with the tackle very late. That was a long way that McMahon had to throw that ball across the green. And Oliver, in my estimation, just didn't have a great pursuit and try and meet the ball with the receiver at the time of impact. And Rice able to convert.
That was just the 6th catch of the season for Campbell. McMahon wants to throw. He's going to go over the middle looking for Campbell again. Tipped up in the air, and it's intercepted for the 2nd time in the end zone. Now it's knocked away. Finally, the whistle is blown. I think it'll be a touchback for Western Kentucky, but it was a wild sequence. Caleb Oliver with his 3rd interception of the season. The referees will get together. He was clearly giving himself up. He got hit by a Rice player and fumbled the football. Referees are still chatting about it.
I just chastised Caleb Oliver a play ago for not being aggressive. I think I'm going to do it again because he was still a bit indecisive. I'm not so sure his knee touched the ground.
Wow. So it'll be...
He's voluntarily went into the end zone.
First down for Western Kentucky, but it'll be at the 2-yard line.
Well, how many times has McMahon had a problem throwing the ball into the middle of the field? That's where both of his interceptions have come this afternoon.
Here's another look. Trying to force it into Campbell, and here's where the craziness starts.
And watch, Oliver's going to just kind of, will I run it out? Will I not? Well, what am I going to do? And then his knee never touched. Now they're going to go look at this.
Timeout called on the field. We'll step aside as well. Hilltoppers up by a touchdown. So they did review that interception, and the call stands when it was on the field. 1st and 10, Western Kentucky from their own 2. Second interception thrown by McMahon. Third interception that we have seen in this first half. Here's a quarterback run up the middle. Reed just trying to create some space, find some room, picks up 2.
And so often you hear the theory that I'm not going to hand it to someone 2 yards back in the end zone. That's why Austin Reed's running. Take a look here. Look for, I did not see
On the play, 2nd down and 8.
Oliver's knee go down at the 2. That's the ruling, so we'll play on.
Yeah, the ruling coming out of the timeout, referee said when he intercepted it, his knee was down at the 2. Here's Reed, he's in trouble, gets rid of it. Boy, that was very
might have
dangerous.
a review here too, Graham. If I'm the Rice staff, I'm screaming for at least a safety here, and they're all indicating that on the sideline, and we'll see.
3rd down.
Here we go. He threw it before his hip. His hip was about the first to land on the ground, so able to escape his read. That's a good play by your quarterback, saving 2 points.
It really was. It's now 3rd and 8. Hilltoppers are 2 for 3 on 3rd down today. How aggressive do the Hilltoppers want to be? We got a whistle. And Tyson Helton either called a timeout. He did. Hilltoppers just avoid a penalty. The play clock winding down. So timeout called by the Hilltoppers. We'll step aside as well. Western Kentucky having 3rd and 8 when we return, up by a touchdown. 3rd and 8 for Western Kentucky. After Tyson Helton called the timeout to avoid a 5-yard penalty. They will keep it on the ground. Here's Robichaux rumbling forward. This will be close, and he's got it. So they keep it on the ground on 3rd and 8, and Robichaux picks up 9.
Running on that left side behind Wes Dorsey and Big Q, Quantavious Leslie.
Here's that tempo. Corley with a catch. Corley works his way up to the 17-yard line. That is catch number 4 for Malachi Corley, who has just been on pace to set all kinds of records catching the football for Western Kentucky. Freshman record in receiving yards. He's already broke the mark as a sophomore. What a bright future he's got. It's 2nd and 5 for the Hilltoppers. Reed, a long throw. It is caught by Davis. That's his first catch. He's got a 1st down. 4th different Hilltopper with a catch in the first half.
There's plenty more to come because I haven't looked at the tight end a lot if you're Austin Reed. So again, there is more, as the old saying goes, arrows in your quiver if you're Western Kentucky offensively. They have a lot of explosive players.
Wow, what a catch by Corley on the reverse. Doesn't have a lot of room. Rice all over that one. But Bob, that could have been an absolute disaster. What a catch by Corley. That's Trey Schumann, the senior out of Burleson, Texas, with a tackle.
I think it's almost a lateral pass. It may go as a run. Let's take a look. Oh, it was a flip on the reverse. And again, just continue to find ways to get Corley the football. And that time it wasn't the footwork, it was the great hands work by Corley.
Second and 10, Reed will zip one over the middle. It is caught by Matheson at the 32, so that picks up about 6. Another 3rd down on the way for Western Kentucky.
That time Reed went through at least 4 progressions before he found Matheson right there in the middle of the field. He was quickly running out of time with the pressure. Now it's interesting, they take a little bit more time on this 3rd and medium to play in from the sideline, and here we go. And Again, Reed's got a lot of options here, plus he's got a running back and Corley in motion.
That's Erwin Poindexter, the back in the backfield. And Reed, sprint right, got Corley. Another first down up to the 38. 5 catches in the first half for Corley.
Corley in motion, sets in the slot to the right side. And this is a play you'll see time and time again by Western Kentucky.
Reed, tons of time. Dangerous throw, overshoots his intended target. That's his running back, Erwin Poindexter.
I give Reed credit there, just throw it away and live to see another down. And again, it did take him 4, maybe 5 progressions for Reed to again make the smart decision and just throw it away.
The reigning Conference USA Player of the Week. Had 6 touchdowns, threw for over 400 yards last week in the win at Charlotte. He's 10 for 16 today, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Here's a handoff, Robichaux, stonewalled at the line of scrimmage, might have picked up 1. The Owls force 3rd and 9.
And nothing to the right side, just kind of bounced down right to left, trying to find a gap for Robichaux, and not the case then.
Well, for Austin Reed, his favorite target, it has been Malachi Corley. He's got 5 catches in this first half.
I would look for him in this case to roll Reed out, because he's had to go through, as I've mentioned time and time again, a lot of progressions. Only so long that line can hold up. Let's see what they do here.
Hilltoppers 4 out of 5 on 3rd down. Reed is going to zip one over the middle. He's got Davis, slips a tackle. Davis still going, and he's going to streak all the way in the end zone. Daywood Davis. Touchdown, Western Kentucky.
Playmakers galore on this team, and just when I thought they would roll Reed out to try and buy him some time, he gets that time from his offensive line, gets it to Davis, and what's important here is the yards after catch by Davis, breaking that key tackle in the middle of the field and sprinting into the end zone.
62-yard strike, touchdown number 7 for Daywood Davis. It was an 11-play, 98-yard drive that took 4.5 minutes. The Hilltoppers cash in after the interception, and Western Kentucky leads it 14-0 over Rice at the 8:15. Hilltoppers leading Rice 14-0 after that 62-yard strike. Austin Reed to Daywood Davis. It was a 98-yard drive. So the Hilltoppers capitalize after forcing their 2nd interception. Remember, this Hilltopper defense has now forced 26 turnovers, which is tops in the country. This is Connors with a fair catch. So Rice will have 1st and 10 coming up from their own 25. Another look at the touchdown.
So here it is down the middle, and here's the broken tackle right here. It's the difference. I'm trying to see just barely. Was he touched here on the 2nd go around? Right there, and nobody's going to get a hand on him. The fastest players on the field, Daywood Davis, the transfer from Oregon.
Well, Rice, they have been able to move the football today. 105 total yards of offense. Just the 2 interceptions. This is the 3rd drive in the first half. Here's a handoff to Montgomery. Montgomery picks up 2.
Darius Shipp just sliding down the line defensively, making the stop. Harvey there as well, Martin rather as well. And again, just a little too wide in my opinion for where Rice has had some of that limited success running between the tackles, just trying to move it out a little bit further, and it just really didn't work to the short side of the field they were trying to run to in that instance.
That's the tight end Bradley in motion. Play action, McMahon will feed Bradley, and he's greeted right away at the line of scrimmage. What a lick by Will Ignott.
Ignat, the Tennessee transfer, tried to disguise Bradley here. And they're able to do so for a brief second before the linebacker, Ignat, his responsibility, the tight end in that situation, and just picked up Bradley. And Bradley's a guy we had an asterisk by, at least I did, Graham, and felt like he had to be a big part of this. They've tried to get him involved, but it's been very, very limited.
Especially with Luke McCaffrey not being on the field yet. McCaffrey did go through warm-ups. He did dress. He just hasn't played yet. Here comes the blitz. McMahon in trouble, loses the football. It's picked up by the Hilltoppers, and they'll score. Jaquez Evans, the sophomore linebacker from Georgia, makes it a 3-score lead for Western Kentucky.
Lots of things to talk about here, but the important thing is defensively, this is an outstanding football team. You mentioned the numbers earlier, Graham, but also knowing you've got a 14-0 lead at the time, you've got Rice on their heels, you can bring the kind of pressure that Western Kentucky brought, especially knowing your offense can score at any point in time. And I kind of credit some of that to their offense and being able to be a little bit more aggressive defensively.
We will have another review on that last play. It's currently a touchdown. We'll wait and see if it'll stand. And the play stands. So Oliver's the one who blitzed. He had the sack fumble. It was picked up by Evans, and he scored from 14 yards out. But this defense this season has been incredible for Western Kentucky. That is now the 6th touchdown the Hilltoppers have scored on defense, which is tops in the country.
We talked to Tyson Summers earlier this week. You could see Oliver come in from the left side, and we were teasing during the break. I called Oliver out earlier, and ever since then, hope he didn't hear me, but it sure seems like he did. He has been playing lights out since then, and that's a forced turnover by Oliver on that blitz. But again, I think a lot of factors play into it. You know, knowing you've got Rice on their heels, down the distances in your favor, you got a 14-0 lead, you got them pushed near their goal line that they have to defend, and you're able to bring that kind of pressure knowing that you've got that kind of quick strike offense on the other side of it. I can't help but think it has a lot to do with it. Jaquez Evans was one of those that when we talked to Tyson Summers this week, he mentioned how improved the defensive line was. And then you look at Juwan James, Broderick, Darius Shipp, who we've seen on a couple tackles, Martin as well, but Jaquez Evans has played exceptionally well in those types of scenarios that we saw just then in terms of blitzing and getting that edge pressure on the quarterback. So if you're Rice, obviously the score dictates you're in a bit of a problem right now. I don't know that it's quite the time to abandon your offense, but they've got to finish a drive here, keep this game basically alive here, the way Western is playing offensively with their quick strike, and then their defense also has come to play this afternoon. And, you know, we talk all these cliches all the time about defense wins championships. When you look at these numbers defensively for Western Kentucky, they're pretty impressive. And I'll throw another one out at you. They've only given up 50 points in the second quarter all season long.
Wow.
All season long.
It's very impressive.
So that's been their quarter, and then you counter that by saying themselves, Western Kentucky has scored 134 points in the second quarter this season. So when you look at those two numbers, it's really not in favor of Rice at this point. And they've got to put a drive together here in the next 6:45. And it's just my opinion, they need to get some points on the board heading into halftime.
Connors back deep to return the kick for Rice. And again, the issue for the Owls, they have been able to move the football, but they have turned it over now 3 times, 2 interceptions and that sack fumble. It's been backbreakers.
Again, I think they've got to find a way to get Bradley involved in this offense. I don't think, from the tight end position, I don't think this is the type of team that has the quick strike ability with their receivers. There's a talent deficit between Rice and between Western Kentucky. particularly on the offensive side with just the playmakers. And so far, it's great. Like we talked about, you can talk about earlier in the week about what you want to do, and you got to admit Western Kentucky to this point has gotten the ball to their playmakers, which was approach number one, and secondly, they protected Austin Reed.
Here's a handoff to West. That is good for a pickup of 1. New quarterback in as well here for Rice, so McMahon is not in the game.
And 2 on the play.
So if you're wondering, McMahon, 8 of 11, 65 yards, 2 interceptions, and the fumble.
Gonna go with Itrace at quarterback.
And this will be his first throw. He's looking for somebody, fires, and it's caught complete at the 32. It is caught by Rosner.
And Rosner is the guy that's been involved in their offense a lot. They're going to drag him across the formation. He's going to come all the way across the field and get to that point. And that's been a little bit of a mystery to me as to why Rosner, 721 yards on the season, 8 touchdowns, has seen very little touches here in the first half. And you add that McCaffrey out, and now you've gone to your number 2 quarterback. Rice has really got to convert here.
Owls 4 out of 5 on 3rd down. Itrash is going to fire. He's got Campbell, and Campbell with another catch will keep the drive alive. His second catch, both have resulted in first downs today for Rice.
Just as I said, the pressure was coming, and the need to convert on that key 3rd down. You could not risk giving Western Kentucky better than average starting field position had you had to punt at that point, and probably into the wind as well.
So Rice shaking things up with Shoki Itrash in at quarterback. Here's a handoff and a big hole up the middle. A first down run, finally tackled by Oliver in midfield. That is good for a gain of 13.
If Rice can find a running game, and that's a great run and gets them that first down that they needed, move the ball to midfield. Take a look at this getting to the 2nd level. That's a terrible arm tackle in by Western Kentucky, and finally able to get him down just shy of midfield. If you can get a run game, you can really help the number 2 quarterback out.
Toviano is the running back, another carry for him. He navigates his way through all the traffic inside the 45. He's still going, and he picks up 9 yards, a physical run.
Boy, if you're a coach, do you like to see that or what? You're down 21-0 on the road. You got a lot of adversity in your face. And the Toviano just with a strong run, and it is the classic second effort, but how many times has Rice gotten 9 on first down so far this afternoon? The answer is probably 0.
Rosner and Esdell out wide for Rice here on 2nd and 1. And Toviano the back. They'll continue to feed him, and Toviano trying to muscle his way towards the first down from the spot. Bob, I don't think he's going to get it, but it will be close. Let's see if they measure it.
They have one of those right foot, left foot? No, no question. We're going to move it. First down. I cannot say again, and I know I said it back-to-back sequences, but Toviano, just watching him just keep his feet moving when that pile that had him upright, he didn't even have an opportunity to kind of slide or slither down in and lunge and get the first down, and that's great effort by him.
That's the tight end, Groon in motion. Montgomery back in and running back. He's going to go the other way. Montgomery picks up a block from his quarterback, Itrash. Scampers out of bounds inside the 30, picks up 12 yards.
Either by design or by creation. And I think that was not by design at all. That is an outstanding play by Montgomery. And does the smart thing and gets out of bounds.
Get your new quarterback in there throwing blocks for you, paving the way.
I don't think he went into that expecting the need to
Right.
throw a block. But when Montgomery reversed course, I don't think he had much of a chance. More of a obstruction, shall we say.
High Trash is 2 for 2 on this drive. He'll hand it off to Montgomery, and he gets clobbered off his feet by Martin, the senior out of Tuscaloosa, Alabama, the North Alabama transfer.
Montgomery a little slow to get up here. What's important is, yes, you do not want to allow Western Kentucky to touch the football offensively for the rest of this half, but you've got to be really careful if you're Rice here. You're taking maybe a little too much time between snaps. And when you're down a distance, dictates 2nd and 8, I think you probably still need to get a little bit more to the tempo, be able to run the football.
Rosner and Esdell, the 2 receivers. See if Rice wants to take a shot. Here comes a blitz. Itras will look out there, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Esdell. He has 3 catches. Catches for a Rice player today. 2nd and 10, another look.
Yeah, Upton Stout defensively makes a nice adjustment of the ball. You can see he turns back to it, just gets that right arm out just at the right moment. So here's the biggest 3rd down of the afternoon. You say, well, why do you say that, Bob? It's 21-0. But for Rice, this is indeed the biggest 3rd down of the afternoon so far. Got to convert here.
It's 3rd and 9. Campbell's wide open. It's his 3rd catch, and he's in the red zone for Rice. So he had 5 catches all season coming into today. He's got 3 catches, and all have resulted in 1st downs for Rice.
Yeah, you're going to take a look at this on the left side, overloaded with 3. It was a 3-by-1 formation, and they're able to get it to Kobe Campbell, and that's a big conversion. It also gives you the unique situation of being 1st and 10 at the 11. So you got a lot of chances here at this end of the field. The problem is your clock. You've got the timeouts you need. Just got to be really smart here in terms of calling your game.
Hilltoppers bring the blitz again. Connors breaks a tackle. He's in the red zone, or rather inside the 10-yard line. Picks up about 4. Clock is winding down with 45 seconds and ticking. And now the Owls will call a timeout.
Really like Connors up the middle. Being able to get pretty good yardage in a very tight spot. And I've been impressed so far with the ability of Rice to run the football here when they need to. And more importantly, I think when you know that defensively Western Kentucky is expecting that. They've been able to get back to kind of basics with their number 2 quarterback in the game, and credit to them. But if you get this far, in my opinion, Graham, you got to finish it with 6. You got to have a touchdown here.
Again, Rice, they've been able to move the football today, but the turnovers have just been so costly. The previous 3 drives, 3 turnovers. Now Rice is knocking on the door here. 2nd and goal. Or it's actually 2nd and 7. The Owls can pick up a 1st down inside the 1-yard line.
Back to what I spoke about, but your problem is your clock. You still got a lot of things in your favor. You can continue to run the football into the middle of the field, allow the clock to run. The question is defensively, Western's going to change their personnel once they got a look at what Rice was going to bring back out. You can see that top of your screen. Now Rice will change up. Now we'll get all our substitutions taken care of and play can begin.
Otoviano, the running back. The give, Otoviano still going, and he is at the 1. It's going to be a 1st down for Rice, so 1st and goal from the 1.
How often do you hear that, right? 1st and goal from the 1. Look at Ottaviano. He's going to make a couple of great decisions here, not to run to the edge. I thought for a moment he was into the end zone. Let's take a look at it from up top. I think they're going to look at that as well. Like that left knee may have gotten down.
30 seconds.
I think Rice takes a timeout here
the game
and force
clock
the booth to take
35
a look at this.
seconds.
Right.
3,
also just
5.
regroup and figure out how you want to handle this as well if it does not go their way. But for the moment, second timeout utilized for Rice with 35 seconds remaining in the first half. Rice desperately needs to put the football in the end zone. And remember, the Owls will get the football to start the second half.
Turnovers again. You hear coaches talk about it in preseason. They talk about it throughout the season. Fans, sometimes the media just kind of turn it off, right? You talk about 3 here in the first half for Rice. It has been very difficult for them to mount anything offensively. And again, speaks to the need to finish it here with 6. But that's also a big factor in your quarterback change here for Rice, to bring in Itrash, see what they can do here very late in the half. Keep in mind, you still got one more timeout, so you can run the football. And going to look at a jumbo type package here because they're going to bring Bradley, the tight end, into the backfield.
Uriah West is the running back. He has 1 rushing touchdown this season. We saw this formation earlier. Here's a handoff. West spinning, falling in the end zone. A huge touchdown for Rice. Second touchdown of the season for West, and that is exactly what the Owls needed. That was a 13-play drive.
And running the football for a majority of it. Being able to control the clock, working it down. And when you got an opportunity to score like that inside the 1, you have to. And I know I've been talking a lot about leaving some time on the clock for Western Kentucky, and I think you executed that just about as well as you could for Rice. Played defense for the next 32 seconds of the half.
And the Owls will get the football to start the third quarter. But if you're Western Kentucky, how aggressive do the Hilltoppers want to be here? They can score fast. They got 2 timeouts in their back pocket to work with. You got Austin Reed, who's played very well, not only today, but this season. Reed is 11 of 17, rather 11 of 17, 190 yards and a couple of touchdowns.
Now there's a run by West for 6, and I'm still not a big fan of, if you're inside the 1 on a 2nd and goal and hand the ball off 3 or 4 yards deep in the backfield. Your coaches, your commentators talk about that a lot. It's all kind of washed over by the fact Rice was able to get that touchdown. Now the question, even to this point in terms of special teams, Graham, you squib kick it or just kick it through the end zone here, and I guess probably what you want to do, and just not allow for a return or set up possibly some field position in your favor.
See how Rice wants to play this. This is Tim Horn kicking deep to Matheson, who signals for a fair catch.
All right, Coach, you take a knee here or just air it out? We've been bragging so much about this Western offense. I'm the guy that says, why not? And particularly in light of the yards after catch we've seen from both Corley and Davis in their touchdown runs. Now, they've got that kind of ability to turn a 10-yard down and out into a big score. You got time, you got 2 timeouts, you could throw to the middle of the field maybe once.
Well, they are definitely not taking a knee. Offense on the field, ready to get back to work for the Hilltoppers. They will throw a pass. It is called by Jalen Hall, and Hall is stopped after a gain of 5.
Love the screenplay. You're beginning to see coaches go to that quite a bit throughout the nation, where you stack 2 receivers, maybe as many as 3 receivers on the other side, and just create a pick situation, although there's not contact made, just enough to kind of jumble that formation there on the side.
Well, last time the Hilltoppers had the football, they put together that 98-yard drive. Timeout called by Tyson Hilton. They got 1 timeout remaining, 26 seconds left. Again, though, what the Hilltoppers wanted to do today, they wanted to take shots down the field, and they have executed what they wanted to do.
Agree. And why not take a shot here again? I've been harping on that a bit, but I think that's probably what you might want to look at doing. They've also been the benefactors of 3 turnovers. And Reed's also throwing an interception as well.
2nd and 5, Reed fires incomplete. Daywood closest one to it. Daywood had that 62-yard touchdown catch.
Not so sure you don't want to get the ball on the edge or the outside to Davis. Corley. Haven't seen a lot of the tight ends, Simon or Beljan, this afternoon. It's probably not the spot for the big tight end target in the manner that Rice uses their tight end, but now you really got to throw the deep ball here.
Reed on 3rd and 5, throws on the sideline. Catch made by Hall. Back shoulder throw, called for a first down. And Western Kentucky is in Rice territory.
Have you a half, Jalen Hall. Take a look at this. Back shoulder, as Graham mentioned, and now that sets you up with 15 seconds to go.
Reed is going to take another shot. He's got Matheson. Catches it, breaks a tackle. He's got under 10 seconds. He's finally stopped at the 7, and Western Kentucky has one timeout to use.
You know, we've talked a lot about Corley, we've talked a lot about Davis, but there's been several receivers in this first half that have made catches and not only made catches, but made an impact for this Western team. And you add Matheson to it.
Last 2 completions. It was a 25-yard strike to Jalen Hall, 38 yards to Michael Matheson. So now Tyson Helton, he will send out the field goal unit, looking to extend the Hilltopper lead before going back to the locker room for halftime.
And the win is at Narvison's back. This would be a backbreaker if you're Rice, if you just did everything fundamentally right on that drive other than just scoring just a little too early, giving Western the ball back with 32 seconds to go.
So it's the senior Braden Narvison lining up the field goal. He's 12 for 17 this season. Kick up, and his kick is good. So what a response for Western Kentucky. They had 2 timeouts, and they drive the field in 35 seconds to take a 24-7 lead over Rice at halftime. A lot of offense, a lot of defense as well for the Hilltoppers, forcing 2 interceptions and a fumble picked up for a touchdown. Strong first half on Senior Day in Bowling Green. Hilltoppers in front, 24-7. Start of the second half about to come your way. Western Kentucky leading 24-7 at the break. Rice will have the football to begin the 3rd quarter. Connors is back deep. Corey Munson, he'll kick it away for the Hilltoppers. Who will be the quarterback for Rice to start the 3rd quarter?
I think it's iTrace, because he was able to convince this Rice offense to block better and to get that running game going. And again, leading with 80 rush yards and 2-1 advantage over Western Kentucky. Although when you put that statistic out, the fact is Western didn't need to run the football a lot in the first half because they were so successful in doing what they do really best, and that is throw the football and get it to their playmakers. So I say iTrace. We'll wait and see. The big question is we haven't seen McCaffrey. Luke McCaffrey should be a name that's familiar to a lot of you in college and NFL circles. And the other part of it, and again, it is going to be 15 iTrace out. I think the other part of it is we haven't mentioned there were no penalties in the first half. That's why we had that briskly played game. So that said, I probably just jinxed us here for the second half, Grant. We'll see.
Montgomery the back in the backfield. And iTrace, he'll throw it to Campbell. Campbell has had a productive afternoon, works his way up to the 30. That is catch number 4 for Campbell. Or they actually give him 6, so he surpasses his catch total from the entire season this afternoon.
You see Caleb Oliver in your picture right here. He has played exceptionally well. Save the one time I got onto him in the first half. And you're Rice fans, you hope I don't awaken him at all. Take a look at this alignment here defensively for Western. They've been able to get the pressure rushing three rather.
How about that physical first down run for Montgomery?
One of the things in the last two plays Western Kentucky has attempted to do with tackling Montgomery is tackle him high. Take a look at this. Not going to work there. Bounces out. And finally a jersey tackle there to end it.
First and 10.
Rice approaching 200 yards of total offense. It's been a balanced attack, 94 passing, 87 on the ground. Here's another one, Montgomery. Montgomery with a nice move, bounces off a defender and is finally dropped at the 42. Picks up about 6 on the first down run.
Again, a little bit off tackle, outside of the tackle box, if you will, by Montgomery here in Rice. And look at this hit he takes right there. Bounces back off it again. That cost him a yard or two. And as you talked about that balance between run and pass for Rice, the running game has kind of caught up with the passing game here in the last couple of series.
Toviano now back in the backfield. He'll get a carry. Toviano backpedals, spins, and he's going to be close to the line again. He's the leading rusher for Rice today. He's got 9 carries and he's over 50 yards. And he does indeed move the sticks.
Coming in, Toviano only with 28 carries so far on the season, but it's been a number that's moved up. And I like the way both he and Montgomery and West, when needed, and also with a touchdown late in the first half, have run. Their run game seems to be pretty solid. It's a passing game that's really let them down.
Toviano again stays on his feet. He's got a first down run. Finally stopped inside the 40. That is a pickup of 14 yards.
Now this is the team defensively, Western Kentucky, that's been very good against the rush. But look at Otoviano right now. He got to it kind of late there, but he broke a couple of tackles near the line of scrimmage. There's not a lot of high school talent in Texas. Otoviano is one of the examples of that. We talked to Bloomgren about the fertile recruiting ground that is Texas.
Well, Tyson Hilton, he did not
We'll take their first time out
appear
of
to
the half.
like what he saw defensively, so he will call a timeout. Hilltoppers have 2 remaining for the rest of the second half. Rice driving when we come. Welcome back to Bowling Green, and as Bob just talked about it a moment ago, we just had the first penalty of the game. So coming out of the timeout called by Western Kentucky, Rice had too many men on the field. They had an extra receiver, so that was the first penalty of the game. Here's Montgomery. He darts towards the 35, finally stopped at the 32.
I got that penalty yardage back and more. And what more can you say? Now all of a sudden Rice has been able to run outside of the tackles with some success. And they've primarily done it, Graham, by running to the short side of the field. Western with some late, they're going to get some more, or change out, if you will, those front 3, which has been not as successful against the rush as they have the pass.
Toviano, he hits the hole hard. He's got a first down run. Stopped at the 23. So this has been an 8-play drive for Rice. And 6 of those have been on the ground.
Yeah, more importantly, it's more of the same, if you will, from what we saw in the last drive of the first half by Rice. And you would have thought going into it, save the front 3 changes I talked about that Western is making. You think Western might have adjusted toward that or in response to that at halftime, and so far it doesn't seem to be the case.
Itrace on 1st and 10. He's going to take a shot, and it is almost intercepted again. It was a high pass to Isaiah Esdell. And the Hilltoppers almost came away with their 3rd interception.
Yeah, that'll discourage you from throwing the football after you've been successfully running it. When you see that near miss right there, and then, boy, Western just a ball hawking kind of defense. And this is your classic tip drill right here. Just didn't go the way of the Hilltoppers.
Connors, the new running back. Now he goes in motion. Empty set for Itrace, who's 4 of 6 passing. Got to throw it here. He scrambles out to the right, throws to his tight end. Catch made by Bradley, trying to pick up a couple more yards. Bradley, that's his 4th reception this afternoon.
I credit Itrace with being able to feel the pressure from his left side. Watch. He's going to go to his right. I'm going to find the big tight end, big target right there. We talked to the offensive staff at Rice about that very thing, how much Bradley, with that size he's got, 6'5", 254, makes a difference. Now we'll see if the officials stop in and hold play up just a moment. They're going to allow Western to make these substitutions.
Rice is 6 for 7 today on 3rd down. Owls have 3rd and 5. They'll hand it off to Connors, and Connors will earn the 1st down for Rice. Still going. Finally stopped inside the 10.
I think it's the first time this afternoon Rice has run out of a 3-by-1 formation with 3rd and medium 6 or 7. And this is a very nice run by Connors, especially at the end. Hang on to the end. You're still going to get a little bit more right there. And every bit of that is needed by this Rice offense that's been struggling.
This is play number 11 for Rice. This is the opening drive of the 2nd half. On the ground again to Connors. Turns the corner all the way in the end zone. There is a flag back around the line of scrimmage.
There's a flag on the play.
That's going to wipe this touchdown out.
Holding, number 78, offense, 10-yard penalty from the previous spot, 1st down.
So we did not see a penalty by either team in the 1st half. Rice has 2 on this drive alone.
I know, I jinxed them. I know that's where we're going, so we'll keep an eye. As you see Connors run to the left side, and that's where the hold occurred. You wonder, man, he was really into the open once he got past the line of scrimmage. And the edge was not sealed. You hear a lot of folks talk about that, and that's exactly the reason why there was a hold on that left edge, which allowed him that room.
It's 1st and goal from the 20, back on the ground to Connors, and Connors fights his way to the 15.
Connors on the carry.
So he picks up about 4 yards. It'll be 2nd and goal for Rice.
You know, save the penalty, that's pretty good yardage in an and goal situation, but penalty really changes the whole look of this sequence right here. And I think this is a spot where you're going to have to ask the redshirt freshman quarterback to throw.
Looks like he's going to do it here. Empty set 5 wide for Shoki Itrace. He'll throw over the middle, almost intercepted. He was looking for Campbell. And you see the reaction for the freshman, Allen. If he catches that, that is a pick 6.
Want to watch something that dissuades you from letting a redshirt freshman throw the football? Look at this. And the freshman on the other end actually makes the mistake, to your point, Graham. Allen catches that. Nothing but green grass ahead.
Rice with 3rd and goal from the 15. The Owls have scored 89% of the time this season once they have entered the red zone. And we got a whistle and a timeout taken by Rice. Mike Bloomgren did not really like what he was seeing, so he wanted to call a timeout.
Timeout on the field.
First. Stops. So we'll take a break as well with 8:23 to go in the third quarter. Rice will have 3rd and goal from the 15 when we come back. Rice facing a 3rd and goal from the 15. Trace has 3 receivers lined up to the left. Rosner, Esdell, Campbell. He will give it to Campbell. Campbell trying to stay on his feet, trying to fight his way through all the traffic. It's finally stopped at the 7. Decision time for Rice, 4th and goal, and they will send the field goal unit out on the field.
Yeah, Van Sickle coming out. A little slip right here by Campbell to begin after the catch. May have cost him a bit right there. I think this is the right move by Mike Bloomgren and go ahead and get points here. Get your confidence. Seem to have found that running game, which is crucial. See if your defense can make a play for you on the other side.
It's the senior Christian Van Sickle. He has been perfect this season, and that streak will continue after he is now 10 for 10 this season. So the opening drive of the third quarter, Rice will march down the field and kick a field goal after the 14-play drive. 7:39, third quarter. Rice will kick it deep after the field goal. After the 14-play drive. That was a 26-yard field goal, by the way, for Van Sickle. This is Tim Horn on the kickoff. Matheson looks like he will bring it out, and he will from the 8-yard line. Matheson across the 20, wrapped up at the 32. So really good field position on the way for Western Kentucky. The Hilltoppers will be on offense when we come back out of the timeout, up by 2 scores. Offense going to work for the first time in the third quarter for Western Kentucky. And Reed is going to throw, fires to Hall. So Hall caught the first pass in the first quarter, catches the first pass to begin the second half.
And Reed with the patience, and he was going to Hall all the way. You can see, he'll look him down and pump just once. Hall able to get open and get out of bounds with big yardage on first down.
Jalen Hall's got a team high 5 catches today. 2nd and 2 for Reed. He'll keep it on the ground. Robichaux rumbles for a first down. He picks up 4.
I'm not so sure that this is something that Western would like to work on here in the second half, and game's still very much in doubt. But the question being is, you still got to augment this running game, especially as you progress into November. Try and make yourself bowl eligible. And certainly if you're going to play in near these conditions for the rest of the season, you're going to need a running game.
Speaking of which, LT Sanders checks in at running back. Reed over the middle, and it's caught by Corley, stays on his feet after taking the shot, and he's finally stopped inside the 35, a gain of 23.
The double punt was just enough to get Corley open, and he takes the shot, bounces right off of that, and makes his way for more yards after catch.
Here's the tempo, shot down the field, sliding effort, and a catch is made. Wow, what a grab by Matheson. Puts the Hilltoppers at the 2.
So much for the running game needing to be done when you've got that kind of effort and talent. What a catch by Matheson, and he has played exceptionally well. Take a look at this one. Kind of obscured by the goalpost right then, but that was impressive.
And now they will review that previous catch by Matheson.
They're looking at the angle we did, again, obscured by the goalpost. I don't know if they've got a lot to overturn it here in this instance. It's just a matter of where the play occurred onto the field. And you can see everybody's breath out there. It is really, if 2 or 3 degrees makes a difference, I think it's dropped that here.
It is currently 37 degrees in Bowling Green. And we went on the field for pregame, and yes, it is very cold. Well, this is not a lengthy review by any means.
After reviewing the play,
Call.
the ruling on the field of a completed catch has been confirmed, and it is short of the goal line. It'll be first down.
So the call stands, a gain of 31 after the completion from Reed to Matheson.
So Matheson comes in here with 2 catches on the season, having a great afternoon. And take a look at that catch. And the other part of it is the defender, Lockhart, it's great coverage. Someone where you just got to kind of tip your hat to Matheson and play on will be an end goal situation.
For the first time, Reed is under center. Sanders is the running back. Play action. He's looking for a tight end. He will throw in the end zone and fires incomplete. Great job by Rice defensively on that sequence. It's 2nd and goal.
And for a team that began running the football here to begin their first possession of the second half, to see them go to that formation with Reed under center and throw the football, I think that's just kind of a foreshadowing the things you want to accomplish later on in the season.
Have yet to call Joshua Simon's name, the tight end. He's got the most touchdown catches by a tight end. Instead, they'll hand it off to Sanders. Sanders trying to barrel his way towards the goal line, and he stopped shy at the 1.
Brings up 3rd and goal.
We'll check personnel, see if they'll run it again. Yes, your eyes are not deceiving you. Austin Reed has been under center for 2 straight snaps. It's time to put the old jumbo package in here and punch it in.
Kai Robichaux checks back in.
In fact, the ball is inside the 1-yard line. It's inches.
That is Hall lined up at the top of your screen. He's in motion, and it'll be a quarterback run for Reed, and he plows his way. Is he in? No signal yet. He's in. Touchdown, Western Kentucky. And Austin Reed, his first rushing touchdown in the afternoon, extends the Hilltopper lead.
Well, that was a long time coming, and perhaps the least likely to rush the football on 3rd down and score is your gunslinger quarterback, Austin Reed.
That's his team high 7th rushing touchdown this season. 7-play drive, 69 yards. It took almost 3 minutes. Extra point is tacked on. It is now a 31-10 Western Kentucky lead over Rice with 4:37 to go in the 3rd quarter. Rice will look to respond when we come back. 4:37, 3rd quarter. It's a 21-point lead for the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers. The winner of this game will head to a bowl game. Western Kentucky trying to go to their 4th consecutive bowl game. Also 8 in the last 9 years. Rice is on the hunt to make their first bowl game since 2014 as Connors makes a fair catch. 1st and 10 on the way here for the Owls. And again, we saw TJ McMahon start the game. Here's another look at that touchdown run from Reed.
I want to put this one in the archives. That's probably one of the least likely sequences you'll see out of this Western Kentucky team. They tried to throw and run from under center before they called Austin Reed's number on 3rd down for the touchdown. I was just thinking as we were here, wouldn't it be nice for Western to repeat their Bahamas Bowl appearance from a few years ago, considering today's conditions?
No doubt. Here's Montgomery. He gets gobbled up in the backfield. Oliver was the one to get to him secondly. That was Jaden Hunter, the first one to him. What a day for Oliver. Oliver's been everywhere defensively. Had the interception, had the sack fumble in the first half.
I love his pursuit off the edge in those special situations with down and distance and forcing that fumble earlier.
2nd and 12 for Itrace. Play action. His pass is deflected and it's incomplete. Simpkins with a big hit. The Rice player that you see down, that was the intended target. Simpkins with a big hit. That was on Esdell.
Isdell's going to have to lead the game. He's they stopped play, so stopped the clock rather. He's going to come back out.
So Tyson Thompson rather is now in at wide receiver for Rice.
I think we need to make note of the fact we've seen a lot of batted balls here this afternoon by Western defensively. Credit to them.
See if the Hilltoppers blitz. They don't. Itrace being pressured, and Evans gets him for the sack. What a day for Evans. He had a touchdown in the first half. He's got a sack in the third quarter.
Take a look off the right side of the quarterback, rather. Evans has had pretty good second and third quarter, actually, as well as a great game, but seems he's really showing out here recently.
This is the first punt of the game. This is the junior Connor Hunt. He's from Hawaii, standing at his own goal line. Gets it off, and it's very short. It lands at the Rice 40. It will be down at the 45 by Thompson. So outstanding field position, the best starting field position of the day coming up here for the Hilltopper offense.
And I would look for a quick strike opportunity here on this change of possession. Another thing, the wind has really picked up here at the back of Western Kentucky. It was not that way earlier, particularly when the game began. And I would just look for Western really to try and put a dagger in Rice right here. They can do it throughout the drive, but I would just look for something pretty aggressive, one of these talented receivers.
Austin Reed is thrown for over 300 yards today. He is responsible for three total touchdowns. Was the Conference USA Offensive Player of the Week. Rice is showing blitz. Clean pocket. Reed is now going to take off. Reed scampers out of bounds at the 42.
You know, we were thinking before the game we would see Reed on the field as part of senior day, but he's got another year of eligibility. When we talked to Tyson Helton earlier this week, you know, the typical question, right? We forced him into the comparisons between Bailey Zappi, who, by the way, is here today, and Austin Reed, and he said they had a lot of similar qualities. Reed's also won a national championship at another level.
He completes this to Dawood Davis. Another interesting comparison that Tyson Helton told us. He said Austin Reed reminds him a lot of Sam Darnold when Darnold was at USC.
He and his brother were there as well. And that's the best place to catch Davis, right? On the sideline. Your odds are a whole lot better there with the speedy Dawood Davis to be able to push him out of bounds or make the tackle. Now watch his 3-by-1 set.
Reed looks left, looks right, fires, looking for Davis. We got a flag at the line of scrimmage. It's incomplete. That play looked out of sync from the get-go.
They're isolating Davis at the top in that 3-by-1.
Offside, number 50, defense. 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
So that's just the third penalty on Rice today, but this one is a big one. It results in a first down for the Hilltoppers.
Let's see if there's been one on Western so far. I don't believe so.
Yeah, the Hilltoppers, they don't have any. That's Erwin Poindexter in motion. Empty set for Reed. He's going to throw to Corley, and it is almost intercepted. Boy, was that close.
Gabriel Taylor jumps the route, identifies it as one of those screen type plays where you put two receivers near each other, and Taylor almost had a big play. Credit him for recognizing that from the outset.
He does have a pick 6 this season. He almost had another one.
And Corley's dinged up, taking him out of the game. He was the intended receiver in that. I don't know whether Taylor might have hit him around his hands with the face mask. I don't know what they're looking at.
Well, whatever it was, the Hilltoppers had to burn a timeout. That's their second. They got one remaining. So this stops the clock with 1:58. We'll keep it here with Western Kentucky facing 2nd and 10.
Corley's actually returning to the locker room, Graham. That is not good news for Western Kentucky. He's left the field. I'm just wondering if that's what happened.
Yeah, that is definitely one to monitor for sure because he's got a team-high 90 yards receiving today.
He's had a great supporting cast, make no mistake there.
So the Hilltoppers in front here, 21-10. They are down to only one timeout, though, the rest of this half.
I think my iPad has succumbed to the cold weather.
Tells you how cold it is.
It couldn't work.
It's very cold. It is very cold today.
How about you looking over your shoulder, partner, here for a little bit?
So here we go, 2nd and 10. That's the tight end, Simon, in motion. Reed just dumps it off to Erwin Poindexter, his running back. He's gobbled up, no gain. 3rd and long on the way for Western Kentucky.
It's a really nice play under duress by Reed. It kind of becomes like a jump pass. Look at the pressure. It's going to get him right, left, and he's trying to get over the top to Poindexter and just makes that throw. That's a nice play by Reed, minimal yardage. Not by intention, but by necessity does Reed make a jump pass.
So who does Reed want to target here with Corley not on the field? See if Rice blitzes. They will. Reed got a clean pocket, fires to Smith, and Smith with his first catch of the afternoon is stopped a yard shy of the line of game.
Credit Smith for just getting wide open. And still about the 2nd or 3rd progression by Austin Reed. Take a look at this. Reed's going to look, and wait for Smith to get open. And that's still a lot of separation even at the college level. And again, dare I mention, the wind has really picked up in the last 5 minutes.
It really has. Hilltoppers are going with the win, and the offense is on the field here with 4th and 1.
Let the clock run out. I thought they were, but they had to call a timeout.
And it is a timeout call. So the Hilltoppers do not have a timeout left. And we still got another quarter to go, but Tyson Helton wants to be sure everybody's on the same page on this 4th and 1.
Well, I'm watching Narveson go out and just kick by himself behind the huddle. I think Tyson Helton understands the importance here. You could probably deliver a knockout blow here with a score. So why not take the timeout?
So let's see, Narveson was on the field.
He's leaving.
With some practice kicks, and yeah, he is not going to have an attempt here. Offense on the field.
I think you're playing with house money here if you're Western Kentucky. So even with the wind at your back, you probably feel pretty confident you can nail this 4th and 1.
Erwin Poindexter, the running back. That's Hall in motion. Reed is going to keep it himself. He lowers the shoulder. Austin Reed, I don't know if he got there. Rice thinks that he didn't get there. They think that he fumbles it. It's not a fumble. Here's another look.
I heard first down. Now they're going to argue there's a fumble, and the big guy who we've yet to call his name this afternoon thinks he has a touchdown.
What a stop, though, for this Rice defense.
Ikena Inkuchiwu, 91 that I was mentioning, and he's been a big part of their offense coming in, and their defense rather coming in, and he's still making an argument that.
Well, Tyson Helton, he's upset because he wants a measurement at least. There hasn't been a measurement. Referees are saying the Owls stopped Western Kentucky, no measurement. 1st and 10 for the Owls with 23 seconds left in the quarter. Owls will keep it on the ground. And this could potentially be the final play of the 3rd quarter. There's a Toviano with the carry. He's been very good today. Leading rusher for Rice. And that will indeed be the final play of the 3rd quarter. As we head to the 4th, the Hilltoppers lead it 31-10. Rice trying to make things interesting when we come back to Bowling Green. Start of the 4th quarter in Bowling Green. Rice with the football, facing 3rd and 1, rather 2nd and 1, trailing by 3 touchdowns. Toviano, he gets met at the line of scrimmage. He falls forward though, and from the spot, he will have the 1st down.
All right, you're going to watch. Bradley's going to return. Big target. I wonder at some point in time, iTrace needs to try and find him, get some bigger chunk yardage out, because the running game, that's been fine, but now you've got to move into catch-up mode if you're Rice. Got to be thinking big play, chunk play, of which they've had very few of today.
iTrace will throw on 1st and 10 over the middle, off the mark, looking for Campbell. He had him open, the throw just a little bit behind him.
Yeah, that's just a bad throw there by the redshirt freshman. And we've yet to mention this, we talked about it off camera. Got a penalty flag.
Hey Bob, that's the first penalty on the Hilltoppers today.
It is. We haven't mentioned this about iTrace, but he's from Bradenton, Florida. So I'll just tell you, Bradenton, Florida, 12th of November in Bowling Green, Kentucky.
A little bit different?
Yeah. Novembers are a little bit different in this part of the world. In fact, now it's blowing the football around, and the umpire's got to reset it.
So after the penalty, it is 1st and 5 for Rice from their own 41. Again, TJ McMahon got the start, 3 turnovers in the 1st quarter. It has been iTrace the rest of the way. Over the middle, his pass is intercepted. The 3rd interception of the afternoon for the Hilltoppers. It's their 4th takeaway total, and the defense has been sensational. That time it's Trey Shaw with the interception, his 1st this season.
Now, this is not a broken record, folks. This is a very, very good defense that you're making calls on. Interceptions, fumbles, they've gotten it all this afternoon. Western Kentucky defense, they're for real. They're ready for a stretch run.
Yeah, defense has definitely come to play today. Think they're having fun? Look at those coats. That tells you how cold it is.
I know. That's the I saw it earlier. I got to admit, I was impressed with it. They need to send one upstairs here. Just for the record, beautiful facility here at Western Kentucky. Open air facility here for the press box, and they rolled the window up just before kickoff, and it's gotten considerably colder up here as the afternoon's gone on.
Corley is back in the game for the Hilltoppers, which is good news. They tried to set up a screen to him, and Reed had nowhere to go but just to throw it in the turf.
Sure did, and his game has been pretty good today, save that interception, seems like an eternity ago, way back in the 1st quarter.
Got a new offensive lineman coming in late. The left guard, Leslie, ran off the field after that last play. There's movement at the line of scrimmage. Reed is going to take a shot over the middle, and that is dropped. But this will be a penalty on Rice. So it'll be 2nd and 5.
All of a sudden,
Number 75, 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
kind of all of a sudden, this game has gotten really, really sloppy as we play the final 14 minutes. Penalties that we have not seen, did not see in the first half at all. And then some pressures that Reed has been getting. He continues to try and direct this offense. We haven't talked a lot about Austin Reed's past. He's won a national championship at the NAIA level. He's been highly successful as a quarterback.
Wow, how about that catch by Hall? He's still moving, loses the football, and the Owls jump on top of it. That is George Nyakwal, who recovers the fumble after the unbelievable catch initially by Jalen Hall.
A lot to talk about here. First of all, the umpire is going to get an assist right here because the ball is thrown right there at that spot. And this is the only mistake call that's made, and it's not really his fault. It's great defense instead by Rice knocking the ball loose. Gabe Taylor with a strip.
And after the play, there is a penalty marker. We'll step aside and address it when we come back. So Rice will have 1st and 10 after forcing the turnover. They will start this drive from their own 2. And the other thing is, after that play, there was a personal foul on Rice, which is why this drive will start from the 2. So now the Owls have to be careful here. We've already seen one 98-yard drive today. Trace, he will hand it off to start the drive. There's a little bit of breathing room for the Owls to pick up a 3.
Got to run that play again. Just given the fact that Western Kentucky obviously bought a lot to the box and Rice was able to get it blocked up. I know Viano's really excelled this afternoon. It's been sometimes outside of the tackles, which is a problem they had, Rice did, running to that direction until they inserted him into the game.
Yeah, he has a team high 76 yards rushing this afternoon. He'll get another carry. This time he's bottled up. There's Oliver again, the safety coming down to make the tackle.
You're playing 8 or 9 in the box. You're going to have Oliver right here on the edge. His job is primarily the job of defensive ends to seal the edge, but with that kind of defensive alignment, Oliver's got some flexibility there and just makes the solo tackle. How you think they're going to unload right now on this Rice offense?
They've been good on 3rd down today, 70% conversion rate.
Still getting their call defensively very late, and now they're just now getting to the line of scrimmage.
Play clock is at 2 seconds, 1 second. Rice does not get the snap off. Wow. Again, after a penalty-free first half, it has been a different story. That's the 5th one in this half for Rice.
You know what surprising was, as I commented, Western is looking to their sideline to get their defensive call, and it's almost like Trace just waited on Western to get to the line of scrimmage and begin his sequence, and by then, play clock had expired.
Who does he want to target? Luke McCaffrey has not played today.
Got to find a big tight end, Bradley rather.
Flushed out to the right. Trace in trouble, and he's tripped up. He avoids the safety, but Rice will have to punt it away for the 2nd time this afternoon.
There's just nobody to throw to here. The coverage is where it needs to be, and again, going to that zone that Western dropped into and just being able to get what they needed by rushing 4. They did rush 4 instead of 3. Just didn't give Trace a lot of options.
This is Connor Hunt. His first punt went for 30 yards. He is punting with the wind. Hall is back deep for the Hilltoppers around midfield. Hunt gets it away. It'll bounce at the 40 in the arms of Hall, and Hall has a lot of space here. Hall inside the 30, now the sideline, and Hall will take it all the way in. It's his second touchdown of the day. It's now a 37-10 lead for the Hilltoppers.
Jalen Hall has been spectacular this afternoon, and gotta wonder how much better he'd be if he got more chances here on special teams. This is blocked really well, and clearly everybody was on the page of return left. Hall got a great bounce right into his chest and took off down the left sideline.
Extra point, it is up, it is good. In every game these two teams have played, Western Kentucky has scored at least 42 points or more. Hilltoppers very close to doing that this afternoon. 28-point lead for Western. 10:51, fourth quarter. It is all Western Kentucky. Bob alluded to it earlier. The Hilltoppers, they are playing 13 regular season games this season. Due to that, they had to win at least 7 to go to a bowl game. Fair catch made. So it'll be 1st and 10 on the way here for the Owls from their own 25. But Western Kentucky on the verge, unless something wild happens here in the fourth, to go to their 4th consecutive bowl game.
There's so much in play for them to get to that. They could get to the 8 or 9 win mark on the season. You go back, you think about the disappointment at Indiana in overtime, 33-30. Some missed field goal there.
They got a big one next week too. Western Kentucky goes to Auburn to take on the Auburn Tigers next week.
And who knows how that'll play out, given what's going on the Plains. That'll be a line that I'll be looking for to watch and kind of see how
it's shaping up.
What does Brent say? The folks in the desert? See how they will put that one.
That was the first catch of the game for Bradley Rosner, by the way. Rosner, one of the top targets. He leads Rice in receiving yards this season. That was his first catch.
And he's 8 touchdowns on the season, and it's a mystery, perhaps illness, that's really hit both of these teams as why Rosner's just not been a big part of this.
Drew Campbell stays on his feet, and this will be a face mask. So this will be a 1st down for Rice. What a job, though, by Kobe Campbell to stay on his feet. He has been a bright spot today for Rice. So again, he had 5 catches all season. He's got 6 this afternoon. That's only the 2nd penalty on the Hilltoppers. This results in a 1st down. Another look.
And it'll come late near the sideline right there. Kind of push him out of bounds instead of trying to make that high tackle. Got that 12th man, as it's referred to, along the sideline there. You need to use that.
One thing to monitor here for Rice, Rosner, who just made a catch, he was shaken up after that last play. He had to come off the field. So the Owls are looking at no Rosner and no McCaffrey in the game. Trace looking for Campbell, feeds Campbell. He's got a 1st down catch, stopped at the 42.
I was watching Bradley then from the slot position on the left side. He's going to drag the deep safety and one of the up backs out of the area, and Campbell just kind of comes in and fills that area in, makes the catch.
Trace this afternoon, he's 6'4", 11. He's thrown for 41 yards. This is Montgomery. Montgomery coughs up the football. Another turnover. This is number 5 on Rice. There's a late flag. I think this will be a face mask on Rice. Allen is the one that come up with it for the Hilltoppers.
And the beat goes on for Western Kentucky.
Flag on the play.
Or a game that looked
Result
like
of
it
the play
was
is a fumble
fast-paced.
recovered
all
by
of a
the
sudden.
defense. Personal foul, face mask, 87 Rice, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
And the foul is on the tight end, Bradley, who made the tackle with the face mask. So when it rains, it pours, and that has been the case today for Rice.
Fumble comes late, right to Allen, and now Bradley's just going to reach for him and gets kind of high.
After the Rice fumble, Western Kentucky has 1st and 10 from around midfield. Austin Reed still in the game. Here's Stepp, his first carry of the day, he's still going. Finally tackled from behind inside the 15. Marquis Stepp with a big play on the ground, the longest run for the Hilltoppers today.
Clearly the threat of being able to throw the football opens that up for you, but that's something we've been looking for, one of these Western backs to kind of emerge. Maybe that's the answer.
It was a gain of 36. Stepp, another carry, still on his feet.
Step on the carry.
Gain of 8 for Marquis Stepp.
A lot of action here late between these two, and the last thing you really want, given score, down and distance, and all of those elements, is just for this game to get chippy. And it's really been a prolonged second half, especially midway through the third quarter. Stepp has come in with a burst of energy, and if you're Rice and you're just trying to hang on and finish this game out, to see another set of fresh legs come in and run it down your throat has to be discouraging at best.
2 running backs in for the Hilltoppers.
Look at this formation.
Third handoff in a row to Stepp. This time the Owls prepared for it. They stop him behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a loss of 2.
Yeah, we haven't called Adam or Ciano or Chris Conti a lot this afternoon defensively for Rice, and you kind of wonder, I see one of them in the game, but you kind of wonder if the illness bug hasn't gotten them. And you got a lot of options here if you're Western Kentucky.
Yes, you do.
On
They are
third.
2 for 2 in the red zone today.
Yeah, on 3rd and 5. Man, that wind's really picked up.
It's 3rd and 7.
Ironically, Western Kentucky has no timeouts left, so.
Here's a throw towards the goal line and a catch made by Davis. Wow, Reed got hit late. He was looking for a whistle, but it's 1st and goal for the Hilltoppers.
I want to take a look at who the defender is, but Davis with another spectacular catch. And let's take a look here. Reed's going to hang in and throw the ball. You just can't do much better on defense if you're Rice in that case. Dunbar has been kind of victimized a lot. He's injured now, and even more so, but my gosh, Dunbar is playing as well as you can against Davis. So credit the throw by Reed making the difference in that instance.
This is a secondary for Rice that was banged up coming into today's game. Remember, Sean Fresh unavailable, hasn't played, and now one of your top players, Jordan Dunbar, goes down. So it's 1st and goal. The ball's at the 2. Fresh is the running back. See if they give it to him for his first touchdown. Reed is going to throw. Up for grabs, and a catch made by Hall. Give him a hat trick. It's his 3rd touchdown of the game.
Talk about working overtime. Jalen Hall has been just short of spectacular this afternoon. And for all the talk about Davis, who made a great catch just moments ago, Corley, who was injured, and now you see Hall emerge this afternoon as that go-to receiver for Austin Reed. What a complete game this Western Kentucky team has played throughout on both sides of the football, but in particular just really spreading the wealth on the offensive side.
Jalen Hall is going over 100 yards receiving. He's got 2 receiving touchdowns, a punt return for a touchdown. It is a 45-10 lead for Western Kentucky. 45-10, Western Kentucky over Rice. So all 4 times these 2 teams have played each other, Western Kentucky has scored at least 42 points or more. Fair catch made. So we got 6:15 left in the ball game. And here comes the Rice offense. And again, when Rice has been able to move the football, as you get another look at the hat trick for Hall.
I mean, these are just great throws by Reed. Great athleticism there by Hall. But I mean, when you talk about defensively, that was Jonathan Jean that was kind of victimized by that one. And Dunbar earlier with great coverage on Davis, but just not able to bat it away and comes out with an injury.
Itrace connects with Campbell for a gain of 13 yards. The big day continues for Kobe Campbell. But Rice over 300 yards of offense today, but the turnovers, that has been the story. 5 turnovers.
And 3 in that first half on inexplicable interceptions really kind of started this. And you know, Western's done a good job of managing the margin and adding to it. There's another batted ball. At least 4 to 5 by my count this afternoon, and that makes your defense and your defensive coordinator very happy when you see those kinds of things, because that means you're getting the penetration and your defensive linemen are understanding that's just a clear blitz off the corner. Trying to get rid of the ball that quickly.
That was Darius Thomas with the deflection.
And Darius Thomas, the freshman, he's out of Florida. He's doing okay in these elements. Maybe us guys up here aren't.
Here's Montgomery. He's got some space. Montgomery rumbles for a first down. Dropped at the 47. He's slow to get up here for the Owls. Montgomery has played well for Rice this afternoon.
He's going to slip out with a slip screen of sorts and then just go right down the field. Well blocked on the edge. You know, Rice, just looking at them coming in with a 5-4 record, they've got a lot of good parts. They just haven't been able to get them all going together at the same time this afternoon, be it the run game right here we're seeing, or the throwing game, which has been, you know, lacking at times, and all of a sudden you see flashes that you just saw a moment ago with Campbell.
That's a Toviano. He's close to 100 yards rushing today to pave the way for Rice.
Toviano's been very impressive in my opinion. I'm going to go under center here since they inserted him in the game, and they'll bring Bradley back out to a tight formation.
Itrace, he will connect with his tight end Gruen, just his 4th catch of the year. This results in a first down.
Between Gruen and Bradley, and we had to look, or I had to look just a moment ago, go, wow, Bradley's got 4 catches. They weren't sizable. And this is about all that Rice has been able to get out of their tight ends this afternoon, is that play right there, be it Bradley or Gruen. And so that's only 5 total catches from the tight end position. And coming in, Rice felt like they needed to get more for that position group.
Here comes the pressure, and it's another interception. 6 turnovers by this Western Kentucky defense this afternoon. TJ Springer, an interception.
Now, this is just a bad decision to throw into coverage. Springer obviously jumps the route. Now, this one's looked down all the way by iTrace. You can see, credit Springer. That's a ball iTrace needs to try and bounce to the outside and get a couple of yards and take a knee instead of making that throw. That'll be one that's discussed about in the quarterback room in the coming week, and the question is going to be, what was your thinking in throwing the football on the outside, that defender there?
4 interceptions, 2 fumbles for the Rice offense today. There's the new quarterback, Darius Ocean is in. Here's a first down handoff to Step, and Step knocked down shy of the first down marker, picks up 9.
I like Step's game since he's been in the last 2 series. We were wondering when we would see Austin Reed be replaced, and we got our answer right there for this final 3.5.
See if they let Ocean throw the football. He's thrown 9 passes this season. Second and 1. Step trying to turn the corner. He has the first down, stopped at the 39.
That'll move the sticks again. So what do you think about Western going to Auburn next week? I give them
It'll be fascinating.
a great opportunity, that's for sure. And it's like they're going to head to a bowl game as well.
Their 4th consecutive bowl game. Handoff on first down, not much there. When you look at Rice still opportunities to make a bowl game. They will be in the state of Texas the rest of the way. They are at home against UTSA next, and then they will close playing at North Texas.
2 teams that have defeated Western Kentucky so far, so it'd be an uphill battle for Rice to get that bowl eligibility and get to number 6.
They're trying to go to their first bowl game since 2014. That's when they played in the Hawaii Bowl and won big over Fresno State. Another handoff on second down. This is good for a pickup of 4. Third down coming up.
I'll take Fresno's weather. I'll take my chances with Fresno. You know, we've made a lot about it, or at least I have, but these players really haven't. You kind of wonder with the health concerns that both of these teams had coming in this afternoon. Pretty much the last thing they needed from a coaching perspective to be concerned about was weather of this nature this afternoon, and they got just that. Both coaching staffs have handled it very well.
Hilltoppers will keep it on the ground, and the clock will continue to move here. We're under a minute 30. Rice has 2 timeouts. Western Kentucky has not punted the football today.
And I would not see him doing it in this situation as well.
See what they want to do. Hilltoppers don't have any timeouts. Offense is staying on the field on 4th and 4. Hilltoppers will go for it. Play clock under 5. Let's see if Ocean throws it. He will hand it off to Step, and Step will ice the game for the Hilltoppers. A first down run, and this should do it.
And that's good for another Hilltopper.
I would make a really crass comment about icing the game at this point in time. But Graham, my friend, that's very appropriate, and that is indeed going to do it.
Hilltoppers will win it 45-10 over Rice. It is win number 7 for the Hilltoppers. They go to a bowl game for the 4th year in a row. Rice has 2 more shots to make a bowl game. Big takeaways from this one, Bob, or what?
Pretty much as scheduled. I felt like Western Kentucky had the athletes to match it, and they did exactly that.
And storyline today, it's the defense. 6 turnovers defensively for Western Kentucky today.
And you could look up in the Guinness Book of World Records, if you commit 6 turnovers, your probability of winning the football game is somewhere north of 99.9%. But to Rice's credit, they hung in there. It looked like it was a game late first half, and then Western Kentucky turned the tide in the second half, took control of the game, coupled with Rice's turnovers, and then penalties entered in, and that's why we are at this margin right here this afternoon, 45-10 as we wrap up.
So for my partner, Bob Belvin, I'm Graham Doty for our great crew at Western Kentucky, signing off from Bowling Green, Kentucky. Hilltoppers win it 45-10. All games are airing on the ESPN networks, streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.